So let's begin. Let's understand what burnout is and also understand how do we handle this as a psychological phenomenon. Okay. So the topic for today is beyond burnout. How do we build a sustainable uh, way of dealing with burnout with high energy, focus, and resilience? Okay. So now when we say about burnout, I'll just take you through a little quiz and see if you can answer me on these things. What is stress? If you know the answer, please write it down somewhere. Let there be some reflection on your side. Just see what is stress and write it down. Write whatever is your perception of stress. And then let us see and verify whether your understanding is right or wrong. What is chronic stress? What is anxiety? What is burnout? And do you know of any coping mechanism to handle these things? Okay, this is something that I want you to answer. Very short answers. Try and answer them. And now I will take you through something which is very important for you to understand. All of these words, whether you know it or not, have a definite meaning. Now, psychologically, we say that these feelings are divided into two parts. Okay, one of it is called as situational responses. Okay, situational responses like your stress, chronic stress, and burnout. All these three are situational responses. That means there is an external trigger and you are responding to it. You are not able to respond to it adequately, or you are finding it difficult to handle that external stress. So these are situational responses. But then when it becomes anxiety and depression, then they are clinical conditions. Okay, there are clinical conditions which requires a doctor's intervention. You cannot handle it yourself in that place. Okay, so let us understand what stress is. Stress is always because of an external stressor. There must be something external which is causing this. Like say, for example, if there's a traffic jam and you can't reach your office on time, then you feel stressed. But the moment the traffic jam is cleared, your stress is also gone. Or maybe you have an annual day function. The annual day celebration causes stress for teachers because a lot of planning that's to happen at the background. But the moment the event is over, your stress is over. Okay, so that is stress. It is temporary. It is like, the focus will be how to solve the problem. Stress is always temporary. And the way you will feel stress is, it is like the demand of the situation is more and you feel that you do not have all the resources to handle the demand. Okay, and that's why you get stress. And the language that comes in your mind is, I have too much to deal with. That's how stress looks or feels like. Next is coming to chronic stress. Chronic stress is stress over extended periods, long periods of time, like weeks, months, sometimes even years. That time, this chronic stress leaves you with fight or flight response. You feel like, running away from the situation. And that is a difficult place to be in, chronic stress. So, this will also have some physical effects. Chronic stress will show up like, reduced immunity, increased BP, or, heart conditions. Chronic stress will always keep your hormones high, unchecked, uncontrolled. So chronic stress is, again, as I'm telling you, it's just a situational response and still not a medical condition. You can handle this if you can manage your lifestyle. So now chronic stress, the language that is there in your mind is, I can't escape. I'm trapped here. I must do it somehow. That is chronic stress. Burnout, on the other side, is at the threshold of you entering into a clinical condition, and you can also come back to situational response. Burnout is at that stage in between. If you don't have the chronic stress, you are not managing, you are moving on without attending to it, then you get into burnout. And when you get burnout, At that time, the feeling that is left is, I have nothing left to offer. I am somehow pulling on my life. I have nothing left to offer. That is burnout. Okay. And anxiety and depression are other things. Anxiety is future focused. Anxiety always tells you that what if something happens? Like say you are in a traffic jam. Traffic jam is cleared. You are alone. You are driving the vehicle. Nobody is there around you also. But still on your mind, you'll have questions like, what if my house catches fire? What if my bank balance becomes zero? What if I meet with an accident? Even when you are going at 20 kilometers per hour speed and the entire road is empty. It's all in your head. Nothing is real. That is anxiety, and that's why it's a clinical condition. Depression, again, is also a clinical condition. It's a mood disorder. So it leads you with sadness, hopelessness, a feeling of, nothing is left for me. And the dialogue in your mind is, I'm hopeless. Okay. So you got the difference, no? Stress, chronic stress, burnout, anxiety, and depression. Stress, chronic stress, and burnout are still situational responses, but anxiety and depression are clinical conditions. You cannot deal with anxiety and depression without medical help. Yes, is this very clear? So, now let us get into how burnout is different. Okay, here is a psychologist who has worked extensively on burnout. She's from the UC Berkeley Institute. She's a social psychologist. Her name is Christina Maslach. These are the three characteristics of burnout. The first one is emotional exhaustion. This is a stress response. You start feeling like, there's no point in continuing this. I'm feeling exhausted, no energy at all left for you to do work. That is emotional exhaustion. Next is cynicism or withdrawal. You will start looking at your people who are working with you. You will lose concern for them. You will start looking at them with indifference and hostility. You will start looking at them like objects. They are no more humans for you. They are objects to work with. They are machines to deal with. Okay, so that is cynicism. And the last part is reduced personal efficiency. Here you will get into self-evaluation and then you will say, nothing works. I am incapable of handling this. And you will get into a place of learned helplessness. I can't, somehow, you will go on telling yourself, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is beyond me. I am not capable of this. I chose a wrong work. All of this is reduced personal efficiency. Your productivity completely declines. Okay. So these are clear signs of burnout. Now, till here, I think you're all with me. I will just take you through 12 stages of burnout. I'll share the slides also with you so that you can go through it and keep it for reference. The first 5 stages are still at the level of situational responses. You can manage it with change in lifestyle. But from the 6th stage to 12th stage, you will need therapy. You will need some help. Okay. So let us understand whom burnout hits. Always burnout hits high performers. Those who want to do best in their life, it is only to them that the burnout hits. So burnout begins with this first feeling that, I'm strong and I have a strong need to prove myself. You will overdo things. Okay, you will take all the responsibility on yourself. So that's the first stage. Second stage is you will work so hard as if you are the only person who can save the situation. You will not believe anybody else also. Even if they say, I will take responsibility, you will not believe them. So that is the second stage. Third stage is you are so much overworking, you will neglect all of your needs. You are not going to take care of yourself. You are not going to exercise. Sometimes you are forgetting your bath, you are forgetting your eating. You're forgetting yourself and overworking. So that's the third stage. Most of us have gone through this. All the 3 stages, most of us have gone through. Okay. And the fourth stage is tricky here. Fourth stage is when you are completely exhausted, you will now start blaming the situation outside. You will either start blaming the people or the situation because now you are no more able to handle it. And constant irritability, constant anger, constant worry. Fifth stage is you will now start asking yourself, you'll get into self doubt. Is this what I wanted to do in the first place? Was this my cup of tea? Is this my value system at all? Self doubt creeps in. Beyond this, it is a stage where you will need help. Stage 6 is you will be in complete denial. Now, after self doubt has crept in, you will say that the work is like this. So you'll start becoming intolerant. Everybody around you is lazy, only you are working. So you will also start telling that you're exhausted, you cannot work, and you will also start judging people. You will call them lazy, you will be intolerant, you will be irritable for no fault of theirs. Even if they are doing a lot, you will deny their effort as well as your effort. Okay. Next is withdrawal. Stage 7 is withdrawal. You will withdraw completely from social life. You will just go work like a machine and come back and have no emotions for anybody. And stage 8 is because of your irritability, you will start upsetting people around you. You will start shouting at them. You will stop recognizing their needs. Stage 8. Stage 9, you will yourself get into cynicism. You are no longer valued. You want to just get out of this place. Okay, so that is cynicism. Stage 10, you feel numb. You don't know, you are not even feeling anything. Feelings are drying down. You are now entering into a black hole. And stage 11, you are feeling depressed. You are now at the threshold. You are now entering clinical condition. And stage 12, you will mentally collapse. And that's the stage when professionals will have to take over. Okay, so these are 12 stages of burnout. Okay. Now, let's not get scared about this. It's important for us to know what burnout is. But then we'll also understand what are the 4 zones that we on a daily basis keep revolving around. Okay. See, we revolve around generally the survival zone and the renewal zone. Performance zone also we keep moving around. Now, what is performance zone? This is also again psychologists have done a lot of work on this. You can see the quadrants. X-axis is with negative emotion to positive emotion. Y-axis is low energy to high energy. So the ideal place to be is in the performance zone. When your energy is also high and when you're in a positive mindset, positive emotion, you will do best work. So in a day, you can be in this performance zone only for 90 to 120 minutes. Beyond that, you cannot perform. Okay, so identify that time of the day where your productivity is peak and that time reserve it for all the things that are very important and relevant for you. However, the survival zone. Survival zone is where most of us operate upon. The job will give you a lot of stress, and that is why you will have high energy. Your high energy is coming because of the stress that the job offers, but your emotion is low. You're feeling very dull. And in this place, you have a fight and flight response. Somehow you have to finish work. Your productivity is not very good, but you're still doing work. That's your survival. Okay. And at this point, your feelings will be like, anxiety, impatience, irritability, all of this will start showing up in the survival zone. Renewal zone, you take vacation. Saturday, Sunday is your renewal zone. These are the days where, you are low on energy, but high on positive emotion. And if you do not rejuvenate yourself, you cannot work. And that's why there is holiday. Okay, it is on these days that you should not overwork. Really spend time self-reflecting and engaging in some activities that will boost your interest. Only if you spend time in the renewal zone, you can come to the performance zone. If you are not spending time in the renewal zone, you will immediately slowly start reaching the burnout zone. Okay, and this happens to most corporate employees, not because the real situation is like that, but also because we have not learned coping mechanisms. We've not learned how to handle life per se. Till now, I think it is interesting for you. Now, let me tell you, this renewal zone begins with good sleep. Every day, you are resetting yourself, recharging yourself with good sleep. So, ensure to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And last week, I think if you have not watched that YouTube video, please watch it. It was exclusively on sleep so that you understand why sleep is most important for our mental health as well. Okay. Don't compromise on sleep. Don't sleep at odd times. Sleep at the same time and get up at the same time. Don't meddle or be careless about sleep, because sleep disturbances can also lead to serious mental health issues, including Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, so on and so forth. So do not meddle with your sleep. Okay. So if sleep is important, then do this. Every day, whatever we are doing in the morning routine, 5 to 10 minutes of spending time in silence, breathing, gratitude journaling, all of this is very important for good sleep. Now, in case you have worries, you have a lot of tension in your mind, you don't know what to do. In such situations, allot some specific time only to worry. Okay, and write down whatever is your worry. After you write it down on that paper, lock it and keep it out, and then go and peacefully sleep. So these are some techniques you will use to restore good sleep. And these are 7 types of boundaries that we should set. Quickly have a look, you know, about your time. Now, when relatives come home, somebody will barge into your house, even on a day when you're taking rest. You should set boundaries. You must first on your mind decide, I can only spend half an hour with them. I can spend 1 hour with them. That much time you spend with qualitatively, and then go ahead and do your work. That's how you set a boundary. If you don't set boundary, you will again face burnout even on a renewal day. How do you set mental boundaries? People will irritate you. They will, disturb your value system. In such situations, use some of these sentences. I respect your perspective, although I don't agree with you. Okay. Emotional boundary. How do you set emotional boundary? As much as I want to support you right now, I don't have the emotional capacity. Some people will simply come and force themselves on you. They think that they can come and share anything and everything, even when you don't have the capacity to process it. At that time, please tell them that I don't have the emotional capacity, even if I want to. Again, money. People ask you for money. Please tell them that I have already done that. Now I cannot do it anymore. Okay. Tough boundaries, but it's very important. Internal boundaries, you know, like you have been into functions, office work, been with too many people, but then you want some time in solitude, you want some time for yourself. So tell yourself that I need half an hour for myself every day. That is setting an internal boundary. Conversational boundaries, I would rather not be part of this conversation, especially gossips, family gossips, office gossips, where whatever you tell, people will use it against you in some other context. So it's better not to get involved in such things at all. You can say, if it does not involve me, don't involve me. Okay, so keep yourself out of those things, and that is conversational boundary. Physical boundaries, sometimes people, even in office spaces, come and tap you on your back, hug you, or do this as if they know you too much, as if they're very close to you, and you don't like it at all. Some people's intentions may not be very good. So you just have to say, I prefer not to hug people. I'm not comfortable. If you are that kind of a person, sometimes there are people who simply cross physical boundaries and say it was for fun. So you will have to set these boundaries. So this is like the various things you can do to set boundaries to avoid burnout. Set clear working hours, take regular breaks, schedule your personal time, set boundaries with colleagues, take vacations, create a dedicated workplace. Your workplace should be neat and clean. Do not overcommit, meaning politely decline what you cannot do. Phone, do not open your phone 10 minutes after you wake up and 10 minutes before you sleep. At least let us begin there. Learn to say no. Prioritize your self care. That's why I say get up half an hour before so that you can do what is important for you. And when you are overworked, please seek help. Everybody in your office should support you, especially go to the HRs, go to your supervisors, managers, and tell them that you are facing a burnout. And also seek the help of mental health professionals. And let's spend a little time on this because this is most important. What are the 9 micro recoveries that actually work? The other part is all of us know to do, but we may not be able to do. But this is something we can do every day. Like after 20 minutes of intense work, look at something 20 meters away for 20 seconds. Like, if you are working continuously on your screen for 20 minutes, look at some object 20 meters away for 20 seconds and again come back. Can you do this? Is that possible? Second, when you're feeling exhausted, when you're working, you don't even know to breathe. You don't even breathe properly because you're taking shallow breaths. So after every 20 minutes, get into box breathing. Box breathing is breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, again hold for 4 counts. Okay, so that is box breathing. Do it some 2-3 times. That will help you relax all of your stressed nervous system. Then walk in the sunlight, maybe 5 minutes also. Take a walk out of your office for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then come back. Even some meetings with your colleagues, have them walking. If you are working from home, do not sit at the same place. Take the phone and walk and receive. Then, micro stretches, doing all the stretches that are necessary. Pick up some 4 or 5 micro stretches and do them. Keep 2 liters of water. Every day, 2 liters water is a must. And then 3 deep breaths before switching tasks. There are multiple tasks you're doing. Take some 3 deep breaths. Power pose. Again, I think we have dealt with it earlier once. But the way you do a power pose is if you're feeling very low on energy, just stand up, hold yourself in a power pose position like the Wonder Woman pose. Spread your legs, put your hands around you like a Wonder Woman, and gaze straight for a while. So that's called as power pose, and do that for a minute or so. That will reset you. And gratitude journaling. When you're feeling completely burnt out, write down 2 or 3 gratitude statements even in your office. You can, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. So how do you build resilience? This is very important. Knowing all of that also, in your personality, you must build resilience. I will come out of any situation. Wherever you throw me, even if you push me into the most worst situation, I will come out as my best self. That is resilience. Okay. So these are the 6 ways to build resilience. One is building a strong network, of people around you. So the community that you are building, build it well. That is a strong network. Being flexible, not taking life too seriously. Life will happen. So, do not take it too seriously. Adapt. Things change, you also change. People change, situations change. Accept the change, you also change. Nothing is going to be permanent, nothing is going to be rigid. And then, think of re-energizing, take regular breaks, whatever, if it is coffee, if it is anything, please take breaks. Then reading is again a very rejuvenating activity to build resilience. The more you read, the more your ability to cope with situations, and celebrate every little success that you do. Like say today after the webinar, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to enjoy. Oh wow, today I saw uh, 9 of them joining the webinar after a long time. So I'm going to enjoy and celebrate. So these are some of the steps to build resilience. Okay? And so I would thank you for being patient for the last half an hour and listening to this entire webinar. Hope this was useful. Okay. So I'll just stop the recording.